Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate are two of the most powerful magic users in comic book history, each embodying a different form of mystical mastery. Dr. Strange, the Sorcerer Supreme of Marvel, started his journey as a talented but egotistical neurosurgeon. A tragic car accident shattered his hands, leading him on a desperate quest for healing. His search brought him to Kamar-Taj, where the Ancient One introduced him to the mystic arts. Through years of rigorous training, Strange transformed from a broken man into the most powerful sorcerer on Earth, wielding magic that bends time, space, and reality itself. Dr. Fate, on the other hand, is more than just a magician. He is an agent of cosmic balance. In DC Comics, the most well-known Fate, Kent Nelson, was chosen by the spirit of Nabu, a lord of order. Unlike Strange, who had to master spells through learning and discipline, Fate's power was bestowed upon him. Once he dons the helmet of Nabu, he becomes a near-immortal being with vast magical abilities, but this power comes at a cost. Nabu's influence often overrides Nelson's free will, making Fate less of an independent sorcerer and more of a god's instrument. This fundamental difference is what makes their battle intriguing. Strange's power is cultivated, refined, and deeply strategic, while Fate's abilities come from an ancient force that prioritizes balance over individual will. One is a self-made master of magic, while the other is a divine warrior of order. But when these two titans clash, which approach proves superior? The power of magic? Magic is not a simple tool in the hands of Dr. Strange or Dr. Fate. It is the foundation of their existence. Strange's magic draws from external sources, such as the Vishanti, the Dark Dimension, and eldritch entities like Sitarak and Dormammu. He can summon magical shields, teleport across dimensions, and manipulate time using the Eye of Agamotto. His spells are not just incantations, they are extensions of his intellect and experience. Dr. Fate's magic, on the other hand, is divine in nature. His abilities stem from the Lords of Order, making him a conduit for cosmic energy. Fate doesn't just cast spells, he warps the fabric of reality effortlessly, commanding forces beyond human comprehension. With the helmet of Nabu, he can exist outside time, resurrect himself from death, and manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe. His magic is instinctual rather than learned, allowing him to summon vast amounts of power without preparation. Yet the fundamental nature of their magic creates an interesting contrast. Strange's spells require incantations, knowledge, and sometimes relics to enhance their potency. Fate's magic flows through him automatically, making him a more direct powerhouse. However, this divine reliance could also be a weakness. Strange is adaptable and resourceful, using his vast knowledge to overcome even godlike opponents. Fate, being bound to a cosmic order, may find himself limited by its rules. Strengths and weaknesses. Both sorcerers are nearly unmatched in their respective universes, but no being is without flaws. Dr. Strange's greatest strength is his versatility. He has outwitted gods, defeated cosmic entities, and survived battles against beings far stronger than himself. His intelligence allows him to find solutions where brute force would fail. He also has access to an arsenal of mystical artifacts, such as the Cloak of Levitation, which grants him flight and automatic defense, and the Book of Vishanti, which holds counterspells to almost any form of dark magic. However, Strange is still mortal. His physical body is vulnerable, and if an enemy can overpower him before he can react, he can be taken down. Additionally, many of his most powerful spells require time to cast, leaving him open to surprise attacks. Without his relics, his power is significantly diminished. Dr. Fate, by contrast, is nearly invincible when fully empowered by Nabu. His spells are instantaneous, and his magical defenses are among the strongest in the DC universe. He can manipulate time, space, and even rewrite reality. Unlike Strange, he doesn't need external entities to fuel his magic. It comes directly from the Lords of Order. But Fate's greatest strength is also his biggest weakness. His power is tied to the helmet of Nabu. Without it, Kent Nelson is just a man. Additionally, Nabu's influence can sometimes override Nelson's own choices, making him predictable. He fights based on cosmic balance rather than personal tactics, meaning A brilliant strategist like Strange might find a way to turn that rigidity against him. The Battle of Sorcery. A fight between Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate would not be a simple duel. It would be a war on a cosmic scale. The battleground itself would shift, with reality warping and dimensions collapsing as their magic collides. The moment the fight begins, both would unleash their full power, knowing that anything less could result in defeat. Dr. Fate, using his divine magic, would likely strike first, summoning reality-warping energy to overwhelm Strange. His spells would create cosmic storms, disrupt time, and form mystical barriers that seem impenetrable. He could summon avatars of the Lords of Order or seal Strange in a dimension where magic cannot function. But Dr. Strange would not be caught off guard. He would counter with spells of banishment, illusions, and time manipulation. If Fate tried to trap him in another dimension, Strange would find a way to escape, using his knowledge of multiversal travel. His strategy would be to outthink Fate rather than overpower him. He might use the crimson bands of Sidorak to bind Fate, or summon magical entities to fight on his behalf while he devises a plan. As the battle escalates, Strange would likely recognize Fate's dependency on the helmet of Nabu. He would attempt to separate Kent Nelson from it, knowing that doing so would strip him of his powers. Fate, aware of this weakness, would defend it fiercely, making this a battle not just of magic, but of strategy and deception. The final verdict. If this battle were purely about raw magical power, Dr. Fate would win. His connection to the Lords of Order makes him nearly godlike, and his ability to rewrite reality gives him an advantage that Strange cannot easily counter. However, battles are not always won by power alone. Doctor Strange has repeatedly defeated beings far stronger than himself by using intelligence, strategy, and unpredictability. If Strange finds a way to remove the helmet of Nabu or disrupt Fate's connection to the Lords of Order, he could turn the tide in his favor. But if Fate maintains control and unleashes the full scope of his divine abilities, Strange may not have the means to counter him. In the end, this battle is not a clear-cut victory for either side. Dr. Fate has the upper hand in terms of power, but Dr. Strange has the advantage of adaptability and cunning. The outcome would depend on the circumstances of their encounter. If Fate allows himself to be predictable, Strange could win through sheer strategy. But if Fate fights without holding back, the Sorcerer Supreme may find himself facing a force even he cannot overcome. So, who wins? The answer is both simple and complex. In a straightforward magical duel, Dr. Fate takes the victory. But in a battle of wits, deception, and strategy, Dr. Strange could pull off the impossible. This is a battle that could go either way, making it one of the greatest clashes in comic book history. Check out my other videos for more epic character crossovers and battles. Thanks for watching, and stay happy and healthy.